The Wise Owl and the Lost Key. Once upon a time, in a quiet forest, there lived an owl named Oliver. Oliver was not just any owl. He was known for being very wise. He could see clearly in the dark and hear the softest sounds. All the animals in the forest respected Oliver because they often came to him for advice. One sunny afternoon, a small rabbit named Bella hopped up to Oliver's tree. She was looking worried. "Oliver," said Bella, "I have lost my key. It is a very important key, and I don't know where I put it. Can you help me find it?" Oliver blinked his large eyes and thought for a moment. "I will help you, Bella," he said kindly. "Let's think carefully about where you last saw the key." Bella sat down and tried to remember. "I was hopping around near the big rock by the river," she said. "Then I went to the tree near the meadow to rest, but I don't remember seeing the key after that." Oliver nodded. "It seems the key might be near the places you visited. Let's start by looking around the big rock." Together, they went to the rock by the river. Bella searched all around it, but the key was not there. "Don't worry, Bella," said Oliver. "Let's check by the tree near the meadow. Sometimes we need to look in different places." They walked to the tree in the meadow. Bella looked under the leaves and around the roots. Still, no key was found. "Where could it be?" Bella said with a sigh. "I've looked everywhere," Oliver smiled and said. "Remember, Bella, sometimes the solution is in what we don't see. When we look for something, we need to think about it carefully. Let's think about what you were doing before you lost the key." Bella thought hard. "Before I rested by the tree, I was playing in the grass. I remember jumping and running in the field." "Ah," said Oliver, "that is an important clue. Perhaps the key is in the grass where you were playing." Bella's eyes lit up. "Of course, I remember now. I must have dropped the key when I was jumping around." The two of them walked to the field where Bella had been playing. After a few moments of looking, Bella spotted something shiny in the grass. It was her key. "Thank you, Oliver," Bella said excitedly. "You helped me find the key." "You are so wise." Oliver smiled and nodded. Sometimes we just need to stop, think, and look carefully. Wisdom isn't always about knowing answers, but about asking the right questions and looking in the right places. Bella hopped around happily with her key. She had learned an important lesson that day. When you lose something, don't give up. Think carefully, ask for help, and look in places you might not have thought of before. One bright morning, the owl, who was known as Oliver, decided to leave his cozy home in the large oak tree. He had spent many years quietly observing the forest, and he had learned many things about it. But today, he felt like going on an adventure to discover something new. Oliver flapped his wings and took off into the sky. As he flew over the forest, he noticed the sun shining brightly and the trees below were swaying gently in the wind. The forest looked peaceful, but Oliver knew that there were many secrets hidden deep within it. As he flew, he saw a group of rabbits hopping around on the ground. They were busy gathering food. "Hello, rabbits," called Oliver, flying down to greet them. "What are you doing today?" The rabbits looked up, surprised to see the wise owl flying so close. "We are gathering food for the winter," said one of the rabbits. "We need to make sure we have enough to eat when the cold weather comes." Oliver nodded wisely. "That is a very smart idea," he said. "It's always good to be prepared for the future." He then flew higher into the sky to continue his adventure. As Oliver flew further, he saw a small stream below, with fish swimming happily in the water. He swooped down to the edge of the stream and landed on a large rock. "Hello, little fish," said Oliver kindly. "How are you today?" The fish, curious about the owl, came closer to the surface of the water. "We are doing well," one of the fish replied. "We are swimming and enjoying the clear water, but we have to be careful of predators, especially during the day." Oliver thought for a moment. "Yes, I understand. You must always be alert to stay safe. That is something everyone must remember in the forest." Oliver spent the rest of the day flying around, talking to various animals. He spoke to the squirrels, the deer, and even the birds in the trees. He learned so much during his journey. He realized that while every animal had its own way of living, they all had to be smart, cautious, and prepared for the future. As the sun began to set, Oliver flew back to his oak tree, feeling happy and wise. He had learned many things, and he was glad to have shared his knowledge with the animals. "Tomorrow will be another day to learn and explore," he thought to himself, settling down in his tree to rest. Vocabulary words: wise, having good judgment or knowledge. Search to look for something carefully. Clue, a hint or piece of information that helps solve a problem. Meadow, a field of grass or flowers. Rest, to stop working or moving to relax. Educational points in the story. Vocabulary, the story uses simple, everyday words to describe the animals, nature, and actions. For example, words like gathering, prepared, swimming, and alert are common words that can help learners expand their vocabulary. Lesson of wisdom and preparedness. The owl, Oliver, teaches the value of being wise, alert, and prepared for the future. This is an important lesson that can be applied to many areas of life. By using simple, clear examples, learners can understand the significance of these concepts. Engagement with nature. Through Oliver's interactions with the animals, learners are introduced to various animals, natural elements, and how they survive in the wild. It helps to foster an appreciation for nature, while also practicing language skills. Sentence structure and grammar. The story uses basic sentence structures that are easy to follow for English learners. There are also examples of indirect speech. For example, "The rabbit said," that can be useful for learners to practice speaking and writing. Cultural relevance. While the story is set in nature, it reflects universal ideas about working together, understanding one's environment, and preparing for future challenges, concepts that are relevant in any culture. This story offers learners a chance to listen, understand, and absorb useful English vocabulary and sentence structures, while also teaching a moral lesson. This story teaches us that solving problems often involves careful thinking and looking in different places. It also shows how asking for help from others can make a big difference. Through this, learners of English can practice understanding the importance of critical thinking and learning new vocabulary words, helping to improve both listening and language skills.